Entering the station, I noticed that both platforms had a person or two on each side. I decided to sit by the last bench at the far end of platform 2. The day remained grey, and I anticipated it would rain once again. Having boarded the train, I shuffled between people passing by in the opposite direction, all trying to find a place to sit. Having found a space, I soon realised that I was sitting in a reserved seat and wondered whether I would have to move. Shortly afterwards, a large group of people walked towards the area where I was sat at. It turned out that they had booked some of those spaces. Pondering if my seat belonged to one of them, I decided to save myself the trouble of finding out and left the area. Upon leaving the station, I came across the leftover wreckage of a possible car accident. What caught my attention was the arrangement of traffic cones crowding the crumpled up rail, their uniformity and formation giving me a clear message to stay away. I found similar sights of objects given a place to rest after having served their purpose, being left anywhere they could fit for their delayed decay. Finding these items makes me think that the reason for not fixing their defects is because they leave a mark of efficiency. What is broken but still stands reinforces its strength and purpose. Some work harder than the others, the more they had been shaped by their environments. Across my journey, I found makeshift shelters made to accommodate the occupants, protecting them from the environment that they were perpetually in. These creations were in plain sight and demanded privacy. As I passed them, I couldn't help myself from coming closer to them, hoping to see what was kept hidden. Nevertheless, my curiosity stayed at the peripheries of the situation. These objects only referred to their original functions once they had been removed from their original setting. They referred to themselves by mimicking their image and highlighting their failures. On my way back to the station, I noticed that I had been following a black lady. As we both continued, I watched as she approached another lady who was laying by the side of the street. She was white and skinny, with her back against a wall holding a blanket she used for shelter. They had a brief encounter until the lady I had been following reached into a handbag and handed the other lady some money. I walked past them as this was happening. A few seconds later, I heard someone shouting, "Excuse me," in my direction. I continued to walk without looking back. Once someone becomes a temporary part of the street, my action becomes as predictable as the next person's. What step can a drifter take as soon as each move becomes a form of intrusion? We leave marks all around that demonstrate what we are capable of. The inscriptions are so deliberate, it is almost impossible not to notice the effort necessary placed on making them. Watching the interior being spilled out onto the streets numbs me. In and out are now the same, 2 points on the opposite end of the line, getting closer to each other, ready to meet. My mind grows comfortable in the confusion. The reason for their change is unknown, but the presence and image are ever more noticeable and the impressions everlasting. They stand alone, unique in their circumstance, not discreet but also not apparent. One can only guess their reason for being there. I ask myself what would happen if they were brought to life once more. What does it make of us once we have lost our purpose? Will I become just like these objects, tied down to the origin, immobile, unchangeable, lost?